was 2 weeks ago today that Jake and Rebecca Harrow told police that their 7-month-old son, Emmanuel, had been kidnapped by an unknown and unidentifiable attacker who knocked Rebecca out in the parking lot of a sporting goods store. Yeah, right. Which is a terrifying story that caught the attention of the nation, right? Especially when authorities in Riverside, California called it BS. As you probably know, the Harrows are both now charged with murder in their son Emmanuel's disappearance. They're also charged with lying, not to us, but to the police, because that is a crime. And 2 weeks later, there's still no trace of baby Emmanuel, who police now say may have been killed as early as August 5th. And through it all, both of these suspects remarkably cannot seem to stop telling stories. Last weekend, Rebecca gave a jailhouse interview professing the couple's innocence and declaring Jake a good dad who would never hurt a baby. Though, as we all know, he did hurt a baby, almost killed her. In 2018, he sent his own 10-week-old daughter to the hospital with life-altering injuries. She's now 7 and has been unable to feed herself or look after herself ever since. And now it's apparently Jake's turn to talk to a reporter from jail. A different jail than Rebecca's for sure, but undoubtedly he's flouting the same advice that her lawyer must have given her, which is, don't talk to anyone but me. You're in trouble. In Jake's interview, he didn't specifically declare himself innocent, but he did say he was being, quote, completely cooperative with investigators. I think that part, that's in the eye of the beholder. But he stated flat out to the reporter, and I quote, Rebecca is innocent. She loves her children. He said the DA's theory that baby Emmanuel suffered long-term abuse that led to his death, not true at all, quote unquote, not true at all. But he didn't offer any new accounts of where his son might be or where his son's remains might be to that reporter, that is. To other people, he's told at least 2 different stories. A source tells NewsNation that after the Harrows were arrested, Jake told the police that he rolled over on Emmanuel while he was sleeping, accidentally killing the baby, and then, inexplicably, decided to just bury his son's body, you know, in the desert off a highway. Because when you have an accident in bed like that, you're going to just bury your beloved baby just in an unmarked grave somewhere off the highway. That's what we figure led to this arrest, right? And then, of course, Sunday's total boondoggle in the grass there, where an alleged child killer accompanies police on an hours-long search in a field alongside said freeway, Highway 60. Wouldn't you know it? This here search didn't turn up anything. Nothing. Weird, right? Because, like, they had cadaver dogs and everything, because if you had dropped that baby there, even if the wildlife had gotten to the baby, the cadaver dogs would have noticed something. And they didn't. And maybe that is because of the next story that Jake told us all. Our Brian Enton learned that while behind bars, Jake told a fake inmate, either a police officer or a civilian informant in disguise, that he was the one who, in fact, killed his own son and put the child's body in a trash can. It's what you call a Perkins operation, when you infiltrate the jail with a jailhouse snitch, another inmate, or an actual police officer dressed up as an inmate. And you just get the guy talking. They said that's what happened with Jake Harrow. He just talked. That would complicate the search enormously, right? If what he said to this so-called inmate was true, especially if it happened 3 weeks ago. But the DA said just yesterday that he's got a pretty strong idea of where police should be looking for Emmanuel's body. And I say body because the police assume that child has been murdered, hence the murder charges. And as for that prior conviction for willful child cruelty, which left Jake's tiny victim permanently disabled, Jake told the reporter that he pleaded guilty because, and I quote, I didn't have the money to go to trial. I didn't have the money to go to trial. He also said he was sick of court and that the judge knows I didn't do it. They just railroaded me. I was the fall guy, quote, unquote. And that might just be his biggest lie of all, because as we all know from cop shows, when they read you your Miranda rights, you're told that you have the right to an attorney. And if you cannot afford one, one will be provided to you.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.